Hey there, welcome back to this week's episode of the C-Town Podcast, where Seattle business owners, entrepreneurs, and community leaders are invited on to share their stories with us. I'm your host, Christian Harris. This week's episode of the C-Town Podcast is brought to you by C-Town Real Estate. Their mission to make a difference extends beyond just their unique and unconventional approach with their clients and their agents. They partner with the community to give back a percentage of the proceeds from each home sale to a local nonprofit of their client's choice. Visit ctown.com, sea-town.com, and experience the difference with C-Town Real Estate today. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the C-Town Podcast. Today I am joined by Cameron Moores, one of the owners of C&P Coffee. Now, Cameron, we had you on when we kind of initially launched back in 2016. So I was looking back, and I think it was episode 13 is when we had you guys on. And about 3 years ago, a lot has happened since then.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. I appreciate what you do so much. I learn something about my neighborhood every episode that I listen to, and I know it's a labor of love for you, so I'm honored to be here and appreciate all the work you put into this.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time, and I'm glad it seems like it's starting to grow. I'm meeting strangers. They're like, "Oh, I've heard about that podcast.
So
I love this
great.
episode." Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun to be able to provide that kind of value and hopefully look behind the scenes of other businesses. So.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So keep it up.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. Now, this is going to be kind of a refresh, of what's kind of happened since our initial interview. Congratulations, by the way, on winning the podcast West Seattle's
That was such
coffee
a wonderful
tournament.
Surprise. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really great. And I think I mentioned somewhere that we're really lucky to live in a neighborhood where it was stiff competition. I don't take that lightly, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think there's 12 or 13 other West Seattle
and
coffee
all
shops.
really great, independent, strong competitors. So that was a real honor for us.
Yeah, no, it's pretty exciting. Andrew and I connected because we're like, hey, we're both doing these hyper local podcasts. How can we, combine forces? And so he was telling me about this coffee tournament, and he's like, hey, let's have the winner have an episode, and I thought that was a great idea. So that's kind of the reason we have you back. Though obviously I would have found another excuse had we not had that tournament.
Well, we have a lot to celebrate. So
yes, indeed. So since that time, a lot's happened. There was, if you kind of follow the local, West Seattle blog and whatnot, you guys were in risk of losing your space, which is a big deal considering there's not a lot of, community spaces in West Seattle.
No, and it was really all about money, unfortunately. In the end, that's what most small businesses face. The property went up for sale without any warning for an exorbitant amount of money, well beyond what we could afford.
Sure.
And so it was a mad scramble to try and figure it out, and through GoFundMe and some other creative ways, the neighborhood came together and helped us buy it, and we are now the proud owners of the building.
Yeah.
And thanks to that huge community effort, we're just continuing on with what we do. So
yeah, that's awesome.
But that was a pretty lucky, fantastic thing that happened. And not to segue into another subject, but one that's been on my mind lately is how important it is for us to continue to support each other in the neighborhood. I'm thinking about the businesses on Avalon and how hard the Shack's been hit. That's a great coffee space down there. And Luna Park. I've just really been trying to share with everybody. All it takes is one moment, like what happened to us and what's happening down on Avalon, and
Avalon Glass down there,
Avalon Glass, yes, of course, and you're out of business just that fast.
Yeah, the margins are narrow. It doesn't
It's
take
incredible,
much.
and so I'm really fortunate what happened to us, but it's not a sustainable model for the community to keep bailing out businesses. So I'm really grateful for things that you do and the way that we are able to remind people we have to keep supporting each other financially, emotionally. It's what makes our neighborhood vibrant, and we just have to keep it on.
I agree.
Because we can't. It won't be as interesting if it's chain stores and empty retail spaces. I might add too. I see a lot of empty retail spaces because small business can't afford it.
Right. Now there's become an increasingly high turnover of businesses that just gets too expensive, or they don't own their space and the rent goes up and they're like, I'm done.
And even owning my space, as grateful as I am for where I am, it's a whole new challenge.
Sure.
This is not a inexpensive city to do business in. So I have a learning curve with all of that.
Sure.
Now too.
Yeah, of course. Now, for listeners who may not frequent C&P Coffee, you guys are known not only for good coffee but also a great community space. Maybe tell our listeners a little bit more about why it was when you guys were in a time of crisis, the community bound together to make sure not to lose that.
Well, we're really fortunate that we have a couple of different things going for us that make us a unique space. I think one thing that doesn't get mentioned a lot is the fact that we're in a 100-year-old craftsman house. And during that, there were a lot of people who were really concerned that we're losing the visual character of our neighborhood,
sure.
too. And the fact that it's in a house has made it the community's living room. We host poetry readings and art classes, and we have live music all the time. And it's just it's become everybody's home.
Yeah.
And so I think that visually, that's a reason that people wanted to save it too. So the physical space, I think, is a huge part of what we have to offer. We have a beautiful front yard and backyard. There are kids, playing around. We have a community garden there. Mm-hmm. We have a poetry pole outside that people write and post their poetries on. So the whole physical space, it's not just a room. It's a house that's become everybody's
sure.
living room and backyard.
Yeah, that's great. With obviously, being able to buy the space and keep it and own that yourselves, that's a big victory. But what would you say are some challenges you guys are facing right now? I mean, you've been around for 15, 16 years now?
Yeah. Well, doing business in the city of Seattle is really expensive, mm-hmm. and just learning how to manage high property taxes and all of the new taxes that keep coming our way. That's all fine. That's what everyone has to deal with. But it's a lot of pressure on a small sure. business, and I spend a large portion of my day putting out fires, not making coffee.
Yeah.
And I know everyone in small business does that, but
sure.
It ain't easy.
Yeah, that's the less glamorous side of owning your own business. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's a joy to do it. I recently just broke my wrist, and so I've been stepping away from the bar for a little while, and I've really been missing connecting with my customers and my friends and our employees, and it's a joy to go there every day
sure.
and deal with the challenges that come up.
Sure. No, it's special. Kind of mixed bag, as far as a blessing goes.
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Yeah, that's me too. It's like owning a business, the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's also the most gratifying
Absolutely.
And make the biggest impact. And
and I learn so much every day from the people that come in through the door. I don't mean that they challenge me. I mean that they challenge me to be a better person and to try and do more and to hold on to that thing. And I'm grateful for that. I think that if it was all an instant success and it was super easy, I don't think I would get the same rewards of connecting with people and trying to build community. And people bring that in the door. That's not my automatic drive. It's
sure.
that it comes in the door, and
sure.
then I get the pleasure of trying to find a way to implement those
right.
desires. So
yeah, obviously owning your own business takes a lot of time. And you guys are kind of a hub for community activity and whatnot. Are there other things that's like partnerships in the community that you guys kind of work hand in hand with as far as maybe nonprofit or events or that kind of thing?
Yes, and I'm super excited to promote an event that we're hoping will become an annual event. September 14th, it's a Saturday. We're going to have an afternoon party to benefit Westside Baby, Helpline, and the Food Bank. And those are all three organizations that we work with a lot, and we do food drives, and we do clothing drives, and we do diaper drives, and we have an art show every year. But I'm really looking forward to combining all of this together and having one big community party. So
sure.
we'll have food and music and some auction items. And we had a big thank you party last year after we closed on the property, and it was so much fun. So I'm kind of hoping to recreate that lively vibe and have a big party. So there'll be more details on our website, and we'll have posters up and stuff like that. So.
Okay. And what is that website?
C&PCoffee.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the and symbol, or is it spelled out?
Spelled out.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Ampersand.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So that name's already taken, right?
Yep.
All right. C&PCoffee.com.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. That sounds like fun. Is there like a name for that if you're going to make it like an annual event?
Yes, it's We Heart West Seattle.
Oh, okay, nice. Very appropriate. Love it. Of those 3 beneficiaries, the food bank's the only one I haven't had on the podcast, so I might have to reach out to them. So
Boy,
they do some great work.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I just listened to your episode with Aaron, who's a delightful person, and I learned even more about Helpline through that I didn't know before too. So, again, these are people that walk in through our doors, and we get an opportunity to see how can we not only help that organization, but also inform our customers too. And
raise
so
awareness.
This lovely web, so we have a ongoing food bank donation bin, and people bring in stuff every week, and that's great. It's really awesome that we have the space to do that. I think in a smaller space we probably couldn't do some of the things that we do. Right.
Well, it's nice too because with the type of business you have a lot of walk-in traffic. I do that kind of thing here, but I don't have people don't typically come in here. I've got agents that come in, but so it's nice you have that exposure and can take advantage of that.
Yeah, and people really want to participate. And one thing that I think doesn't get mentioned a lot, I know that our community is changing and growing, but I have met so many wonderful people recently who are new transplants, not only to West Seattle, but to Seattle, and they want to participate in the community too. Yeah. And they have been, and it's been really wonderful to be able to tell people about all the organizations that we work with, and then also connect them to other businesses and other services that are my customers. That, again, connecting people is the best part of what I do. I really enjoy that. And it's cool to know that new people moving here also want community and also want to build something for their families and their friends too.
Sure.
I'm sure you experience that in real estate too. We're always talking about how much it's changing and the downside of that, but there's good too.
Sure. The upside is there's new people coming in the area that are going to discover and become part of the community.
Absolutely.
And in line with that, because there's so many new apartment buildings and townhouses and stuff going up, and so that's one of the things that's kind of in line with the mission of the podcast is, how do we connect those people to the community and whatnot. So we started like this Welcome to West Seattle thing, essentially, where you reached out to certain businesses and to provide exclusive deals for people that move here and stuff. And it's been good to kind of try to build those relationships on, how do we provide value and raise awareness for, people moving here who not only businesses to frequent, but places to volunteer their time and money and get involved.
Yeah. And that makes our whole community better. Yeah. Because change is inevitable. It's already happened.
Yeah, you could try to fight it, but you're not going to be on the winning side.
I think we just need to keep trying to improve it as best we can.
Yep, no, exactly. So what would you say, I guess, is next for C&P Coffee? You've been around for a long time. You're doing some great stuff.
Yes, we've been around for 16 years, I think. And honestly, after what's happened to us, I would say a lot of my ambition has drifted away in a good way. Okay. I want to just keep doing what I'm doing. I don't have desire to open up 20 more shops. I really want to have a sustainable business that I can support my neighborhood and, really importantly, support my beautiful employees that work for me and again, all of these neighborhood things that are going on. That's my goal. Is I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Sure.
And that's challenge enough.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Peter, my husband and business partner, would agree with me.
Yeah. Through those challenges, what would you say is like the biggest lesson you've learned? Obviously, it sounds like you kind of let go of some of those expanding ambitions to just kind of focus on the quality of what you have now.
Well, the biggest lesson I learned, which is so against all business models, but a lot of it is to let go of my control. Obviously, I have a vision of what it is that I'm doing, and I have a lot of experience, but I was so changed and moved by the generosity and support of the people, our customers and friends and neighbors, that wasn't something that I could have planned or that I could have made happen. And so I think I'm saying yes to a lot more things that I didn't before. And my focus is not necessarily make coffee and go home. No, my focus is how do we make coffee, make some money, and support our community, support our employees,
Yeah.
build a better place. I'm not sure those things were in my business plan originally. So, lucky me.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
awesome.
I've really benefited in more ways than just making a living doing this.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to talk about?
I hope to see a lot of you at C&P. Come on by.
Sure.
There's always something happening. And we are it's a party all the time. So come by. Brazilian music on Saturday morning. My friend Jennifer is teaching a watercolor class right now that is unbelievable.
Okay.
We have our party coming up. So any questions or comments, a good way to reach us is through the website, cmpcoffee.com.
Okay. And you guys are on the socials as well, right? Facebook?
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Although it's all on me and I'm not.
Nice.
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
I know how that goes.
I refuse to tweet. That's where I draw the line.
Tweetings,
I need an intern or something.
Yeah, that's a full-time job in
Social media
itself.
intern.
Right. Excellent. Well, I appreciate you making the time.
Thank you so
again,
much.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I'll be listening for future info, fun, adventure in West Seattle. So thank you.
All right, sounds great. Well, make sure to go out to C&P Coffee, join them for one of their many, many awesome community events. I'm gonna try to make it out to their the party on the 14th to have some fun, hang out with some new people, and support some good causes.
A shout out to Andrew too.
Yes,
that was so nice.
Yep.
Really nice.
Yep. Yeah, and if you haven't listened to Podcast West Seattle, head over to his website there, and you can catch the last couple episodes, which highlight the journey of testing out these coffee. Yeah.
I was on pins and needles.
Yeah. No, I participated in one of them. It was kind of fun doing
Yeah.
kind of a blind taste test.
Yeah.
And, it was a lot of it was good times. He's doing some good stuff in the community too. So
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. That wraps up this week's episode. Make sure to check out our guest website, pay them a visit, and help spread the word about what they are doing. If you have any questions, know someone who should be a guest on here, or has a great story worth sharing, email me at christianharris@seatown.com. That's sea-town.com. I would also love it if you would go to iTunes and give us a review and a nice 5-star rating. We work hard to bring on great guests and provide exceptional content, and getting a review from you is one way to help the podcast rank well in iTunes so others can find and enjoy the show. You can also find out more about me, how my real estate brokerage is breaking the mold and making a difference in our Seattle communities, and other projects I'm working on by visiting seatown.com, sea-town.com. Thanks for listening. The music for our podcast is courtesy of The Fascination Movement. You can find their albums in the iTunes Store. You can also listen to more episodes and find all our show notes on our website at seatownpodcast.com. This has been a Seatown Media production.